What's up, Summoners? Coach Brandon here, and today we'll be talking about Deathballing and when it can be an effective strategy to help you win games. As always, if you have any clips or questions, feel free to ping me on our Discord, and I'll make sure to look at it ASAP. Okay, let's get into the video. To warm up, you should load into the practice tool and practice using your abilities around the map. Different champions have different ways of interacting with the map, and understanding how your champ maneuvers around the map and interacts with it is going to be an important concept for this video. Deathballing is all about roaming the map, so understanding how your champ can get around the map and what advantages you have when in certain areas of the map is going to be really important for your team. First, I'm sure you all know what Deathballing is, but in case you don't, Deathballing is when you walk around the map as an entire team. In League, it's not very beneficial to walk around as a team all the time due to there being 3 different lanes with pushing minions, but that doesn't mean there are never times where you don't want to do it. There are 2 main reasons you want to decide to deathball with your team, and those reasons are: 1. You are behind and you need to stay together to try to pick off some enemies, or 2. An objective is coming up and your team needs to take control of the area to establish vision control. These are the 2 main reasons to deathball in League, and doing so effectively during these 2 scenarios can lead to advantageous fights a lot of the time. The strength in deathballing is that your team is all together, which means you can never take a fight where you don't have a numbers advantage, because at the very least you'll be even. The reason you don't want to be deathballing all the time is because you will lose out on gold, XP, and map pressure, so I really don't recommend deathballing for a high majority of the game. The other main strength of deathballing is catching people off guard and getting some free kills, and it is really hard for 1 or 2 champions to get away from 5. If you can round up some kills while deathballing and not really get punished for not being in lane, then it's a great strategy to pull off every now and then. When you learn into a game, you should take a look at how effective your team is in a 5v5 fight versus how good the other team is in a 5v5 fight. The reason you want to do this is because if a team knows they have a strong team fight comp, then they are much more likely to stay together and be deathballing. Whereas if the other team is a split pusher, like a Trundle or a Yorick, then they are much more likely to stay apart and not be an entire deathball. You can easily use this information to understand if it's a good idea for your team to group up in a deathball when the time comes for it. If your team has a strong team fight and are capable of deathballing, then it could be a good idea to do so. However, if the other team has effective split pushes, you need to be careful to not lose your entire base, because if your opponents see you all on the map and know they have an open lane for split pushing, it can become extremely difficult to deal with. So I would only recommend deathballing if the enemy team does not have a good split push champ, as you should always have an answer for a split pusher. Again, I'm Coach Brandon, and today we went over when and when not to implement deathballing into your games. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave any feedback as a comment under the video or as a message in the Discord. Good luck out there, Summoners, and I'll see you all on the Rift.